Hey friends, how are you? I know this is a unscheduled live, but I was just playing with my new Yupo paper and I thought I would come on and show you guys what it's like. I'm just so fascinated with this paper because it's totally unpredictable. It really is, and because of my loose style, I'm enjoying it even more. I can, just be as loose as I want with this paper. It's very hard to control. It just kind of goes all over, and if I wanted to right now, this is dry. If I wanted to right now, just wet it, I would totally erase the whole thing. So it's so cool as far as way different from what I'm used to. So I thought, let me go on live and show you what I'm doing. So these are even smaller than a 4x6. They're just little. I cut them out on one of my sheets. And so I thought, let me come live and show you what I'm doing. Okay, so for those of you maybe that don't know me, my name is Lisa Berg with Blue Pearl Art, and I do watercolors. And actually today, I'm going to be using my gouache paints. I find my gouache paints, I get more of a vibrant color on this paper, so that's what I'm going to be using. I'm going to just go ahead and paint, and I'm just being very random here with my colors, but I want you to see when I, place some paint down. To me, it's like if I were to have glossy photo paper and painting on that, that's what it would be like. So, see this right here? If I wanted to just totally get rid of it, I could. It's really very, very different from my Arches paper that I usually use. I usually use a more very textured watercolor paper. It's like, my Arches, it's 140 weight rough. It's very textured and absorbs the water. This paper, the water sits right on top and doesn't absorb at all. But it's so cool, you can just totally wipe it away. If you don't like what you've done, you can, it will stain a little bit, but you can just really do some amazing things. Now, I have not tried it with alcohol inks. I think that's what this paper is kind of made for. Or acrylic inks. I haven't tried it really with those, but I'm really having fun. And it's so pretty. It makes like all these watermarks and blooms and things. So, hey, Betsy, how are ya? So I thought, let me come on, show you what I'm doing. And you can add all this water and it just flows. If I were to take this and put a bunch of water in, it would just drip and blend, and really, really fun. It's so different from what I'm used to. I think that's I'm being so fascinated by. It's just so different. And I have these pretty gouache paints that make the colors really vibrant. Like this rose here, it was kind of all pink, and I just took my wet brush and lifted that right out. I could totally lift all this out if I wanted. I know. I'm hot or cold with my lives, I swear. Well, just, always something going on around here. Poor Peanut, he's not feeling good today. He's really moving slow. He has to go twice a week for inflammation or arthritis shots. So he's going this afternoon. My husband's going to take him. And he was, so yeah, I gave him half a pain pill and his inflammation pill this morning. So he's been sleeping. Poor thing. So they're quiet right now. I'm supposed to have my grandkids today, but when they're here, he gets all wound up and running around, and I said I can't do it. So I like to do my flowers in 3s, but I want to add another. I want to add 5, I think. I'm trying to think where to put them. Love this gouache paint too. I could totally, you can make cards. I think I'll do one over here. Different sizes. And then I'll do another one. Oh, did I just jinx myself? Daisy. Daisy. I think she sees my neighbor. Let's do one. Let's do one here. I know. Oh, thanks, Patricia. It's real, you know, I have no control with this paper. I'm taking little tiny little baby strokes here with my brush because I really don't have control. And if you like control, this paper is all new to me, so I never thought. I always favored very textured, thick kind of watercolor paper, and this is so opposite of that. And I'm really enjoying it. So, I mean, I could totally wipe. It's just a bunch of little strokes, and you can, when it dries, you can go right back over top of it. Yes, you're right, Christy. It was like he was fine, and all of a sudden he wasn't. I don't know. That tree one I did last night that I posted, that I started that out as a dragonfly. And then it got out of control, so I ended up seeing a tree. I mean, it's just like, it's just like, I don't know, it's just such fun paper. Now see that right there? I don't know if you can tell. I have discovered that where I've touched the paper and the oils from my fingers, it doesn't go on smooth. So you kind of have to, you can kind of wipe it off. But it doesn't, see right there how it does that? That's because that's where I've touched the paper. It's hard not to touch it. It's okay. I did also learn that you can wet, like if I wet my surface, my glass right here, and it would like stick right on there, but I like to move it around. And because this paper is not porous, it wouldn't absorb it and go through. It's very smooth. Here's a blank piece. It's very smooth. It's matte. There's no glossy to it, but it's very, very smooth. It just feels like photograph paper to me. That's what it feels like. Like a matte photograph paper. But the paint literally glides right on top. I mean, and I'm using gouache. Regular watercolors, it does the same. I've not tried it with acrylics. Like this. See, that wipes right off. Not long at all, Christy. Doesn't take long at all to dry. I had my ceiling fan on overhead and I had turned it off. It was drying too fast. But I tell you what, even though after it's dry, if I wet it, it would totally destroy it. So there's got to be some way. There's got to be a way that you can seal this. I'm thinking with like a spray, like a matte varnish spray or acrylic spray. Hi, Linda. How are ya? This was a unplanned live. on that new paper. As I throw my brush. I'm just kind of playing. No predetermined design here. He is doing okay today, not as good as yesterday. He woke up stiff, and so I gave him his medicine and he's been sleeping. Yeah, I mean, he's like a circus dog. He normally is leaping everywhere and jumping and running and you know, like yesterday I had the picture of him sitting on the back of the sofa. That's what he does. He jumps up on the top, and maybe overdid it yesterday. It's hard to keep control of him. So he was not doing that today. So he goes this afternoon for his shot. Hey Tracy, how are you? Yeah, I could glue these and make cards. Glue these on a cardstock and make pretty cards. That might be what I do. Might have them on my sale. Sunday. Had to cancel last week. Gonna be doing my live sale this Sunday night. 7:30. These are really pretty cards. Oh, I see a fingerprint. Hang on. Try and wipe some of that oil off. Thanks, Linda. Yeah, I know. Another busy one. I'm using my gouache paints. These right here. They're a little bit thicker than the watercolors, but you know, still transparent. I'm just having such fun with these. these gouache paints. I did use my, I tried out these right here. Metallic, I guess they are, or shimmery ones. I did try these, very pastel, very light, on a piece of this paper yesterday. Just playing, here's the colors on a regular piece of watercolor paper, but they're very, very light and pastel-y. So I'm liking the dark. I like these, but I think I'm going to try them on regular watercolor paper. I think they'll come out a little bit darker. Thank you. Very random here. Patsy, I think you are just being so sweet. I'm telling you, there's no design here. I'm just throwing paint down. Because I love color. And I like to see what the colors will do. I know paintings are supposed to have composition, or, you know, have it be correct as far as placement and where your light source is coming from. I don't always work that way. Oh, Sissy, thank you. Playing with my new Yupo paper. So different from my regular watercolor paper that I use. It's way different. Getting busy. Probably would really be cool too as an underwater scene. Would be so cool in this type of paper. Like corals and all that underwater beautiful colors. Hi, Dusty. Thank you. Whatever painting is supposed to have, I'm looking at it. Oh, so nice, Betsy. Thank you so much. It's Mod Podge. Colors. They kind of do, don't they? Like they kind of do. I don't know. I don't know if it's just I don't know what it is. Maybe it's well, it could be the darks, but hang on, let me go get my other two. I'm telling you, they're just so fun. Their colors are just so, I guess, vibrant on these. So this is the other one I did the other night. This was totally one on something completely different, and then I just took water and I went through the whole thing and just kind of erased it, and there were still some stains of color on there, some over here. And then I just threw some more color, and then I just started removing color. Like, I could still, right now, if I wet this, I would remove color. See? Oh, wait a minute. Let me get that off of there. If I took a little bit of water, it would still remove. So I would have to seal these somehow. It would still remove some color. And then this tree that I did last night started out as a dragonfly. And then I saw this, and then I was doing this and holding it like this and letting it run, and all of a sudden I got this brownish line. I thought, and then there was some pink over here. I thought that looks like a tree, so I just kind of made it into a tree. But these colors, and I'm using my gouache paints mostly for these. I did use a little bit of watercolors with the other two, but combo. It's a combo. Oh, Chrissy, I wait a minute. Oh yeah. Here it is. Aggie sent this to me. Yupo synthetic watercolor paper. It's 100% polypropylene, 74 pound, acid free, 11 by 14, 20 sheets. So there's the cover of it. She said, I think she said you got it at, yep, Cheap Joe's, right there. So this to me looks like acrylic ink. But I could be wrong. But it's so fluidy. That's what's so fun about this. Now, I love my watercolor paper, but see the texture? It's textured. This is just very smooth. So, it's just something new and fun right now and exciting. Cheap Joe's, I got an email this morning. They have free sample pack of Yupo paper if you buy this certain set of acrylic inks. So if you go on Cheap Joe's, they have like if you buy this certain set of acrylic inks, you can get some Yupo paper for free. I didn't get it, but I did see that email. I don't know if I want to do I don't want to venture out too far. I'm going to stick with my watercolors and some acrylics, but I don't want to start into a whole nother medium. Gouache, Sissy, I am loving it. They're a little bit thicker than watercolors, but still transparent, and they're very vibrant. This set was a gift for me from my son and his fiance. It's called HIMI, and it's 18 colors gouache. And they have different sets. This, with the pink lid, are these colors, but I think they have a blue lid or blue set with, I think it has different colors in it. So I went on Amazon, and I think it was only like $25. So great price. Gouache paints are a little bit more vibrant than, to me, than regular watercolor paints. Hey Katie, gouache paints, to me they're just a thicker version of watercolors. My friend Aggie said that she described them as, if acrylics and watercolors had a baby, it would be gouache paints. So they're just, to me, they're a thicker version of watercolor. And I believe gouache paints are watercolor paints with white added to it. I heard that somewhere down the line, but I don't know, because these colors don't look like they have white in them. But they're like a more opaque ish watercolor. And they can get dried out, and you just wet them again with water, and they come back to life, just like watercolors. Just wet them. They do. Yes, Katie, exactly. They're just like watercolors with my, here's my little palette here. And I'm gonna clear this area. It'll wipe right off. It comes right off. So, yep, they act just like watercolors. And this is getting very busy. Yes, on Amazon, Katie. Amazon Himi gouache set on now. What? In the cart. It's in your cart. I love it. I'm gonna have to check out the blue set and see if they're different. I believe they're different colors. That's so funny. I'll take a picture of this and post it on my page for you guys. They're just yummy. And they come in these, you can buy, so you can take these little, tubs out. And look how much is in there. I mean, that's going to last me a long time. You can buy the tubs separately, I think, if you run out. And they're just as vibrant on, you know, my regular watercolor paper. So if I put them on here, they're just as vibrant. See, just like watercolors. And they're transparent as well. So they're just fun. Bright. Might have to stop on this one because it's getting very busy. I'm gonna stop on this. I don't want to, it's crazy busy, so I don't want to completely overwork it. But look at these, they're just such pretty colors. And I can attach these to like a 5x7 piece of stock or something and then mat them up. But I'm gonna have to seal it. I have to seal this with, I think, an acrylic spray. I think you can seal it with that. Because honestly, I took a piece yesterday and I did those shimmery metallic paints, the real pastel-y light ones. And then I cut a little piece out. I was going to try and make a pendant from it. And then I put my glue over top to seal the glass piece over top of it, and it totally erased the whole painting. So you have to seal them. They have to be sealed. Hey, Fran, would I use what on? Would you use this on that? Would I use what? This is my gouache paints that I've used today. I will use my watercolors or my gouache paints. Is that what you mean? Let me put this aside. Let me show you guys. Okay, so one more little sheet cut out. Hey, Beverly, thank you. So here it is. I don't know if you can paint on both sides, but I've just been painting on the front, the sheet I took out. But let me just show you how these paints move on here. So let me get some good paint. And then, I mean, they just move. Wherever that water is, they're moving. It's moving. See that? And now if I didn't like that, I'm like, darn, I don't like what's going on there. You can either take a damp brush and just clean it out like that, or your rag, and just totally wipe it off. It might stain a little bit with whatever, depending on your paints, but it's just fun. That's what I'm using. That's what I'm using for my gouache. These are gouache paints right here. All three of these that I've done are using my gouache paints. This one I just did. This one was the other night. Actually, the combination, watercolor and gouache. This one, though, today was totally all gouache. I think this was too. Yeah, that's what I'm using, the gouache paints. And then, you don't like it, just take a damp brush and if you start getting mud, wipe it off. So, I'm telling you, it's just fun. Fun, fun. And then, if you just take some water, let me just take some water. I mean, you can, spray. I've heard you can put salt for texture. I also just got some new sponges. And you can use a sponge for texture. This is kind of wet, but let me get some thicker paint here and see what we can do with the sponge. To me, I swear, it reminds me of photo paper that I'm just trying. So you can create cool textures with your sponges. You can create it with your tissue. You can remove it with your brush. Spritz it with water. See, the yellow did stain a little bit, but still. Oh, that kind of looks like a bird. Might have to make that into a bird. A little negative painting here. I know it's very cool. The green case, oh, okay, and the pink case doesn't say that. Okay, well, might have to eventually try all of them. Yeah, do you find these are transparent? I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna let that dry and make bird. It's like an erase board. Yeah, I'm thinking the pink case is transparent because it really is. It really is. All right, well, I'm gonna let this dry and then it kind of looks like a fish. It's too fat. Hang on. Fish with wings. I think.